Hey, sports fans, Greg Medford from Medford Knife and MKT USA. Amy on the camera, what's happening? Man, I haven't done any videos in a while. I'm almost nervous. Michigan Knives. We got a bunch of cool things headed out to Michigan Knives. Amy, who's the principal at Michigan Knives?
Bill Morris.
Bill Morris, that's right. Hey, Bill, how's it going? Does everyone talk to, if they call up Michigan Knives, will they ask for him?
He's the man.
Awesome. All right, guys, they're in Troy, Michigan. Their number is 248-637-0075, michiganknives.com. So listen, it's really strange. Since last we spoke, you and I, there's been 2 mass shootings. Let's see, Hollywood's imploded on itself. The Weinstein Group is in big trouble. Every movie that was in production has been halted. Kevin Spacey, Netflix, that other guy, all those girls. What the hell's going on out there? It's madness. Cats and dogs. Cats and dogs swimming together. Anyway, Amy, am I supposed to give everybody a briefing of these uber cool fixed blades that are headed to Michigan?
I thought you would because,
because they do a lot of fixed blade stuff, right? And people forget we do fixed blades. Is that why you wanted me to do this?
He is fixed blade crazy, and we have some serial number knives that have been that we haven't.
That's right. That's right.
We haven't sold field.
And I wrapped a few of these. I can
you
tell.
Did.
Yeah, I can see when I see wraps. I can tell when I did them.
Yeah. So shall I pan down? Pan or Pam?
Pan? Is that P-A-N-D? There's that whole pan dilemma, right? I don't know. I got so much I could talk about. So much that's not worth talking about. But I will say this. Do you guys ever, I think I generally hold my shit together pretty well. And it's been having this knife business has been a real comeuppance for Greg. Because I used to just say whatever the hell I wanted, do whatever I wanted. And everyone's like, isn't it cool being your own boss? You can do whatever you want. And now, if I make a mistake, it costs a lot of money. If I talk to somebody the wrong way, it can potentially cost a lot of money. So I generally hold my shit together pretty well. Raul, how am I doing? Have I been holding my shit together pretty well?
Much better.
Much better than you in the old days? Raul and I, we walked out of an HR conference the other day, and I go, Raul, how'd I do it? He goes, I was kind of about that much proud of you. And he held his fingers about 3/8 of an inch apart. Is that what you did? He said, he says, I was about that much proud of you. I go, did that go better than you thought? He goes, yeah, I was about that much proud of you. And I was like, okay, sweet, coming along. These guys will teach me. These guys will learn me yet.
If I haven't
what
already.
I was gonna say, what I was gonna say is, so I hold my shit together. The last 2 months have been kind of stressful for me. A lot of numbers pushing around. A lot of, when you get a professional salesperson and you start being constrained by the streamlining of process and stuff like that, I'm less free to make decisions I used to make, and it puts strain on me. So I had a really stressful week, and I'd had a particularly stressful day, and I believe that day I had come into somebody walking off the job because of their own personal life stuff going on. Nothing happened here. I mean, I get that you guys are family and I miss you, but I got to get myself straight before I work there. I got that kind of, so it wasn't like we chased somebody off, but when that happens, it's like, oh, I got to start that process. I got to find talent again, and finding talent is really tough. So anyway, I had a whole day of that. I mean, it was a day of fucking curveballs and sliders and knuckleballs, and I was just standing at the plate with my bat, I thought it was going to be a Little League game day, and I came in, it was the major leagues. I was like, shit. And everyone was just throwing heat down the pipe, and I was just beside myself. So I held my shit together really well all day. I get home to the house. Amy's at the house with the kids. They're 3 hours out of school mode. It's like 6:30 at night. I come storming in. I'm like, hey, everybody, and I don't stop. I walk straight. I'm going to go take a hot shower. I'm going to get in the womb-like environment of my cave shower and just let the day melt away for about 10 minutes. And then I'm going to take off all my work clothes, which I wear all the time, and put on my dad facade, which is dad bod t-shirt, slightly oversized for a burgeoning Hawaiian body, and a camo board shorts, right? So and flip flops, because now like I'm in chill mode. When that transformation settles me down. So I walk in, and my boy, Jack, engages me. Hey, Papa, I'm having a hard time with homework. Now, what I should have done was said, and I don't want to be that dad's like too busy for the kids, you know what I mean? So what I should have said was, hey, Jackie, I need like an hour, 45 minutes, something like that, to settle down. I love you. Kiss him on the forehead and walk away. That's what I should have done. But I was kind of being codependent, and I had been wrapped up in taking care of problems every day, and I wanted to take care of his problem. So I made the mistake. He's got math homework. I said, sure, buddy, what do you got going on? So he's got all these word problems and all this stuff, and I'm telling you, it is not sticking on his head that day. His head is Teflon, and the eggs of math are not sticking. So he's throwing these eggs at me, and I'm like, how do you not? What do you mean? What do you mean you don't get that? They just told you the problem. So he follows me, sweet little guy. He's just fucking love this kid with all of my goddamn heart. He's a little tiny precious little creature who loves me and adores me, and I adore him back. And I want to scoop him up in my arms. And I also know that as a good dad, you got to let the world rough him up, and you got to kind of scratch him a little bit too, so that they can take the challenges of life with grace and be a good man, right? So I got all this stuff pushing on me. I got the whole day pushing on my back. I'm trying to get to the womb so I can just relax for 15 minutes in a hot shower and come out a born-again man. And I start chewing his head off, and I'm just being an asshole. This is like 2 weeks ago, and I wake up every morning and I feel horrible about it. So about 10 minutes into this, you know, my cousin Kathy's staying at the house. She's like, I think you need to go rescue Jack. And
to me.
Says it to Amy, and Amy's like, I'm not going in there. And then finally she goes, oh. So she pokes her head in. She's like, what's going on in here? And I was like, immediately, total shame attack, complete asshole. I grabbed my boy. I just held him. I said, man, I love you. I screwed the pooch. I am such an asshole. That was none about you. That was all about me. I am so sorry. And I saw myself while it was going on. I was almost like I had an out-of-body experience. I was standing out here watching my dad scream at me. My dad was a fucking lunatic, and I love him. I have a great relationship with him, but my dad was a lunatic when I was a kid and definitely didn't have the parenting thing down smooth. And I normally hold together really well. I lost my shit. So then I'm like embarrassed. I'm like, oh my God, my cousin heard this, thinks I'm a bad dad. My wife heard this, thinks she's married to a bad guy. My son heard this and wonders why I'm his dad. All this is crashing on me. And all I want to do is fucking get in the shower as fast as I can and fucking suck my thumb for about 15 minutes. So I don't know if you guys ever have those moments where you kind of like, I hold it together really, really well, really a great deal of the time. And every now and then I lost it. And I lost it with one of my loved ones, and I just felt horrible about it. So I haven't even wanted to get on video. I haven't wanted to do anything because I kind of feel like too embarrassed to even talk about anything because I got this all right and I got a big game, and then I go home and schmuck out on my kid like that. I think we're pretty good though now. We're pretty whole.
Yeah.
I'm on the edge of crying. Every time I think about it, I almost start crying because I'm like, because I stepped away from that moment and I was like, hey, but I should have said, hey buddy, time out. I can't do homework with you right now. But I don't want that cats in the cradle thing going on. Like I'm too busy for my kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why last night I jumped into that project with the toothpicks.
Yeah.
Stabilizing the body of the clay creature.
We needed it.
Yeah, you know, I'm like, I'm good for engineering. But I was in the right place. I'd had a chance to take a shower, and I was kind of settled. Anyway, I don't know. If you guys ever have those things, let me know in the doobly-doo. That could be your response to this video. Now, let me talk to you about these knives, Headed to Michigan Knives, as I bare my soul for you. So, people don't know this, but I started making knives, fixed blades, okay? And I have the very first knife that I ever made just sitting out there. The guys use it to practice making cheese with and beat on it. But I made I thought a really cool, sexy line of fixed blades. And we forget about that sometimes because we're so caught up in the folder world. And then Jeff shows up, my sales guy, and he's like, God, what are all these fixed blades? What are you doing with all these? I'm like, I don't know, they're just sitting around. So all of a sudden he starts talking about them and people want them and they're starting to move again. So it's kind of crazy, you know, you kind of sell what you love, and I'm obsessed with folders right now. But we make some kind of cool fixed blades. Let me show you those. Come on. Seawolf long, Seawolf short out of stainless. These are super rare with NP3 coated blades, headed out to Michigan Knives.
3V.
Oh, these are.
It's hard sometimes.
See, listen, you guys. This is me. There we go. CPM 3V. I can see now. Presbyopia. CPM 3V. 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 What the fuck's up with these 3V STAs? I didn't even know we made those.
That must have been a fluke, and we made them, and
Holy
they've been
smokes.
sitting. I know.
So, I mean, if you guys like the STA knife, these are the only 3V I've ever seen.
May have made
Raul,
one.
are we making lots? Oh, he
Well,
left.
he's gone.
Shit. Yeah, I had no idea. Only 4. There's 4 of them here. Super cool. With the Vulcan finish on. I mean, that is a spectacular little fixed blade. Let's take a look over here. One of my early designs is the Fieldmaster. It's one of the very first designs I came up with. These are numbered. This is 59, number 27, number 45, and 58. So these knives were part of a project when I thought I was going to draw knives and have other companies make them for me and do mid-tech design and production work. So these were actually ground by, I remember those guys in Connecticut. It was a horrible experience. These guys ground me these knives and they were all horrible. And they had the wrong edges on them and the side panels were horrible, and we took them and reground them all by hand. So these are, no kidding, hand ground like always. And they are numbered like they were production, but they never went into production. So these are really cool numbered knives headed out of here of the first 100 I ever made. Had some extras laying around. And then one of my first knives was the Navlar H, Naval Warfare. It was called an H because it had finger grooves for a handle on it. And we made a lot of these with scales instead of with wraps. So very, very cool knife. These were kind of wrapped by our resident Navy SEAL. I wrapped these ones. Usually if you see a wrap from us with a lanyard on it, it means Greg wrapped it. Because I throw a little extra. You know what it is? Knife making is such a green endeavor. You want nothing to go to waste. We're like farmers, you know. You like butcher a cow, and at the end the hooves are there and the cow's all gone, and you take the hooves, you're like, what can we make out of the hooves? When I finish wrapping a handle and I've got 4 inches left on each side, the last thing I want to do is cut the 4 inches off and waste them. So I got my, let's pull it through, let's put a little lanyard on it. If the guys don't like it, they can take a hot knife and cut it off. So cool batch of fixed blades, headed out to the guys at Michigan Knives who also like fixed blades. A little bit of soul bearing for me. Thought I'd just kind of let you guys know what's going on with me. You know, my parents screwed up so much when they were raising me. Like Amy, I look at how we're raising the kids, and it is such a different quality level compared to how I was raised. How I was raised was really rough. But I never went to bed wondering if my parents loved me, and you've heard me say this before.
Yeah.
They screwed up 6 ways from Sunday all the time, and sometimes badly. But my parents came and gave me a hug and a kiss on the forehead every night and told me they loved me. And it allowed me to be the kind of guy that lets bad things be garbage, and I drop them in life and kind of keep looking forward, and I don't get fixated on the rough things that happen to me. And I hope our kids get that too, but it was one of those times where I was like, man, if I could unspool this moment. But I guess when you make the mistakes, you own up to it right away, and you try to make sure you let them know it was about you and that they are absolutely loved and adored, and then still be tough on them about their chores and doing homework and all those other things, right? And don't let off and bribe them with candy. All right. Well, there's some reflective words from a knife lunatic out here in Arizona. Greg Medford from Medford Knife, MKT USA. Amy on the camera.